Hey everyone, I'm back with another video, and I am back this time with another, like, what could potentially be a huge leak. The reason I say that is because this guy is, so, I'm dying. But basically, the reason why I say that is because, the supposed leaker, basically was getting a little bit into the data of the games a little bit. I don't know how much of this is true or not, but you know, I thought it was worth covering anyways. And the reason I say it's a rumor is because it seems too professional to be a rumor or anything like that. Like, this seems to be an actual leak. Like, as in they're just bleeding information out. Whether or not that information is true or not is yet to be seen, but yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So first thing you guys will notice is Scorbunny is Usagi 1, Sobble is Chameleon 1, and Grookey is Gorilla 1. Now, what does this mean? Well, what basically this I guess leaker is saying is that these are the code names used for the Pokemon when they were developing Sword and Shield. The code names. And note the numbers in the notation, because Usagi 1 means that it's the first of, well, maximum 3, right? Same thing with Chameleon 1, base starter. Gorilla 1, again, base Pokemon. Yamper is interesting because it's Inu 1. And basically what this hints at potentially is that Yamper evolves. Which for me is very interesting now, because we knew about Yamper, but we had no idea about like, I bet you some people didn't even know that, like, Yamper evolves, or didn't even think about it, or like what even it could evolve to, because I'm like seeing none of that online. Granted that there may be I guess a fan art out there that I never saw, but yeah, this is huge stuff. But yeah, moving on. Roly-Poly is Sekitan 1, which means that Roly-Poly also evolves. And that makes sense because the rock Pokemon that you find in caves usually has 3 stages to it. Like, you know, with Geodude, the Boldore, right on. Oh god. As well as, like, many others. And then the next one on this list is Wooloo, which is known as Wool 1, not Sheep 1, which I find very interesting, because if it was Sheep 1, that to me states that it's going to be, I guess, like some sort of sheep-based Pokemon, but it says Wool, which I find interesting, because Wool could mean a few things now. Because that opens up the possibility of one of the rumors they were talking about how Wooloo evolves into a wolf Pokemon in sheep's clothing. Based off of that, you know that the whole story around that. So this could mean a couple of things here. Corviknight is G Commandori 3, which means that chances are, Corviknight's a 3rd stage evolution Pokemon. Could even be the regional bird, and we may not know it yet. And I think that personally, I'm okay with that, because Corviknight I think is a dope Pokemon. I like the design. It's cool. It seems pretty decent in battle. It's got a Gigantamax. I'm all for it. You know, like, give me that 3rd evolution, because I don't want to catch a Pokemon that's just as cool as Corviknight and have it not be a base stage Pokemon. You know what I mean? As well as it might mean that Corviknight is a little bit stronger in battle. Now, Alcremie, and if I'm not mistaken, Alcremie is the evolution. Alcremie is the evolution, if I'm not mistaken. Psych, there is no evolution. Oh my goodness, the coughs. Now, Alcremie is interesting because here it says G Cream 2. Now we know that Alcremie has multiple forms, but the Pokemon Alcremie itself, I think is what they're referring to here, because otherwise they would have a bajillion Alcremies. I think what they're referring to here is the evolution, that we're gonna have a base stage Alcremie. And the reason I say this is because if you look at the next Pokemon, Morpeko, it doesn't have a number beside its name, meaning it's the only one in the evolutionary line, following the pattern that we've seen so far. It could just be a typo, but I highly doubt that that's the case. As well as the fact that Alcremie, mathematically speaking, could have potentially 48 different forms. So the fact that it's 2, not like 31 or something like that, says something, I think. As well as Polteageist. Now, Polteageist is Teacup 2, which means that there's either another Teacup Pokemon, or Polteageist evolves from something, in which case there is another Teacup Pokemon still. That's what it appears to be like for me personally. Moving on to the replies of this tweet, which I found very, very interesting. The first reply, and by the way, this is from ABC Boy, so you can follow. You can see his Twitter handle right there on the screen, so you can follow him there. But yeah, his first reply says that Grookey might evolve into a gorilla. Polteageist and Alcremie are second stages, and Corviknight is the third stage of our quote-unquote common bird. And that basically just goes to what I was talking about earlier this entire time with the code names and the meanings of the numbers behind the code names. Okay, so this next reply though is interesting because this is last one for tonight. Gigantamax Dreadnought Jikame 2. Now this plays into something interesting because this could mean that Dreadnought either is the second stage evolution, or the Gigantamax counts as another stage. If we're gonna go by stage, and I'm using air quotes when I say that, in place of the numbers. And so if it doesn't evolve, it uses a number still, which could be interesting because we know that Corviknight and Alcremie both have Gigantamax forms, but the thing is, it does not specifically say that they're Gigantamaxed, and I feel like that would be a very important detail if it did. So the fact that it doesn't say that, I think, says something. And then kind of below that comment, in that same comment, it says, I have 38 out of 44 Pokemon accounted for, and 11 out of 14 question mark for Galar based on the image numbers. So this means that there are roughly 60-ish Pokemon in the Galar. Which means that there could be either a very small number of Pokemon coming back or a very large number of Pokemon coming back, all things considered. And when I say all things considered, that I mean that in the sense of like, because there's so few Galar Pokemon, they're bringing back more of the older Pokemon, but not all of them. And finally, for the last one, and this is where this kind of theory kind of clicked for me, is Gossifleur is, sorry, I missed one. Duraludon is Hagene Doragon. Ugh, voice crack. And it has no number, which means that it's a base form, which highly, very much implies that Duraludon is not our pseudo legendary, which I'm kind of thankful for because Duraludon is too ugly to be a pseudo legendary. I'm sorry, I don't want the Pride Rock from Lion King in Sword and Shield as like a weird dragon looking thing, okay? I don't. But yeah, here it also says Gossifleur is Tawada 1, and I do believe we know that Gossifleur evolves. And also it says right below, I couldn't get it in the image, but it says based on the other images I have posted, the last remaining Galar Pokemon is Eldegoss, which probably means Tawata 2, which is there should be one more part. And that makes sense because we know that Gossifleur actually evolves. I think. I'm still not familiar with the... Let's look this up. Gossifleur. Yeah, it does evolve. Eldegoss, right. Yeah. So, like, that has huge implications for me because that reveals to us a lot of the information we don't know about the Pokemon that we've seen so far. Granted that not all of them are mentioned. For whatever reason, Cramorant isn't in there, which I guess kind of makes sense why. As well as it makes sense that Obstagoon isn't in here because we already know about Obstagoon, as well as Zigzagoon, so it's like, it doesn't make sense to include them. So, I think that, overall, this is interesting now. This really heats things up because it means that some of the Pokemon, like, for example, the Pseudo-Legendary and the Regent Bird, which are Pokemon that I was personally kind of looking forward to finding out about, well, one of them could have been indirectly revealed, and the other one is still up in the air, which gives me hope because I really don't want Duraludon to be the Pseudo-Legendary. It's so ugly. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comment section below. As well as we are now, this is, I think, video number 95, so therefore we are only 5 videos away from 100 videos, and we are still 13 subscribers away from 100. And we have a week left until the deadline, so please, 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 if you guys want me to double the chance, I guess, of winning a Sword and Shield game copy, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace. When I'm, like, hopefully less sick and not coughing. Bye-bye.